start giving some of the answers to these calls we received. जो अभी हमारे पास जो इरफान भाई की जो कॉल आई थी उसमें उन्हें पूछ रहे थे about his position about the ILR उनका complete हो चुका था उनके ये है बीवी को बुलवाने के उनको वही permanent residence की बात कर रहे थे both ये तो आपको पता है
I mean they're both here and he is due to apply for ILR in August. So what he wanted to know was whether both of them can apply at the same time.
But the question is that whether the wife's done the 5 years or not.
That's right, yeah. So if they both came at the same time, then they can apply because they would have completed the 5 years at the same time.
That's it. So इरफान भाई आपको जॉब मिल गया होगा अगर आपकी वाइफ आपके साथ ही आई थी 5 years हो जाएंगे अगस्त में not a problem. अगर आप चाहते हैं आप हमें कांटेक्ट कर सकते हैं we be more than happy to help you. एक कॉल आ रही है इसे शामिल करते हैं before we go on to the next one. Hello? Hello?
फोन नंबर चाहिए था आपके ऑफिस का.
आप हमारा कंट्रोल रूम से ले लें आपको वो दे देंगे हमारे कॉन्टैक्ट नंबर्स आप हमें ईमेल भी भेज सकते हैं वी बी मोर देन हैप्पी टू हेल्प यू थैंक यू कोई क्वेश्चन है आपका आई थिंक कॉल गई अच्छा दैट वाज इरफान साहब का जो थी
सेकंड अबाउट
फैमिली का यस फैमिली वीज़ा का इनका थोड़ा सा एक्सप्लेन करें शायद साहब ऑन फैमिली वीज़ा
फैमिली वीज़ा का ये है कि आप क्योंकि उनके फैमिली हैं एंड यू आर लिविंग हियर. So if they were to put an application purely on the basis they want to come and just visit you, then that is acceptable route. Or alternatively, अगर वो सिर्फ general visitor visa के लिए भी apply करते हैं, sightseeing holiday, in that case that is also a possible acceptable route.
बिल्कुल. इरफान भाई आपको जॉब मिल गए होंगे. I hope you satisfied with it. जो second हमारे पास फजीला बाजी की जो कॉल आई थी.
Basically, 9 years they've been here, appeal refused ho gayi hai.
But they received a redemption letter, but it came later on again. And the husband was not allowed to work, curtailed ho chuki thi.
Yeah, I mean, a right of work basically is for people who have got valid leave to remain here. So if your legal status has been reinstated, you're saying that right of appeal was lost, but it was again reinstated, then obviously the Home Office will write to you and you'll have a letter to that effect. Normally that should be sufficient for any employer. If you have that letter, you can show it to the employer, say look, you know, we did have an immigration application pending, but we've heard from the Home Office and this is their response. So that ought to be enough for the
or we can do हम ये भी कर सकते हैं फजीला बाजी के we can help you in this. अगर आप हमें contact कर लें we can check your details Home Office से फिर आपको बता सकते हैं what we can do. So if you feel you want to contact आप हमारी details ले लें be more than happy to help you. एक कॉल आ रही है इसे शामिल करते हैं then we carry on with the questions. Hello.
Hello.
जी welcome to the program. कौन कहाँ से?
Hi, it's Ghazala speaking.
Okay.
I just wanted to find out. I did my visa in November.
Okay.
And we got a reply back saying that it didn't go through because of.
You said what? Sorry, Ghazala, would you please आप अपना question continue बताएं so we understand it. आपने visa काहे के apply करा था?
Yeah, we applied for it, but it got refused.
Which one did you apply for? Which visa?
It was for my husband.
Right, spouse visa. ठीक है, okay.
Yeah, but it got refused, and it was because and one of the bank statements were missing.
Of course.
Refused it on that. They refused it, saying that our relationship is.
Your relationship, they don't believe it's genuine?
Our relationship was true, so. I've appealed in the.
Yeah, Ghazala, you're breaking up. I think we've got the most of the questions we have received, and we'll answer your question in this program. You said about bank statements being missing. You said about relationship was not. They didn't assume it to be genuine. I understand that, but you know we'll answer your question in the program, inshallah, later on. Keep watching the program. Thank you for your call. Shahid Saab, obviously, yeah. फजीला का जो अभी आप बात कर रहे थे दिस इज़ अगेन वी आई थिंक वी आंसर दैट वन अगर कांटेक्ट करें ना तो हम चेक कर सकते हैं आपका होम ऑफिस से वैसे आपके ये जो आपने कहते हैं रिडेम्पशन लेटर जो है वी नीड टू सी साइट ऑफ इट सो अगेन आपकी इंफॉर्मेशन पूरी नहीं है बट ऑन द बेसिस वो जैसे शायद ने अभी मेंशन करा था एंड आई हैव द सेम ओपिनियन तो आप हमें contact करें, then we can advise you clearly on that matter. And there may be some reason you can apply to check that. And the other call we had, Shamim का जो था benefits के बारे में, and the answer to that is no. There is no such thing. You can't do anything. You cannot claim benefits. That's not allowed. Shafkat, obviously, is another Mubarak Didi. Amreen, she wants a detailed answer. Income 18,600, and basically it cannot be as a joint. It has to be singly done. आपकी single income होगी. शायद आप explain करें. थोड़ा सा मैंने mention कर दिया.
जी हाँ बिल्कुल जो 18,600 requirement है वो जो sponsor है जो sponsor कर रहा है अपने spouse को, that person needs to meet that requirement. It cannot be that the person who's being sponsored, their income could or would be taken into account. The rules are very clear on that. So it's you as a person who is actually submitting the application, trying to sponsor your spouse over, you need to meet that requirement.
बिल्कुल आपको पता होगा अगर आपके पास जैसे आप joint income कह रही थी, that is not going to be allowed, but you may have another job. आपके पास हो सकता है कोई part time job करें, वो आप दिखा सकते हैं, you can show that. There's no harm with this. But again, हमारे पास full information here. We'd like you to provide that full details so we can guide you and advise you. आपका second part भी था about you have a £10,000 savings. Now savings will be taken into consideration as well because this is also a part where she can.
Savings are always taken into consideration, but obviously you have to have substantial savings. So 10,000 would go something towards meeting that financial requirement of 18,600, but it might be that it's not a big enough amount for it to satisfy the 18,600.
I think the question अपने वो अमरीन को अपने इसलिए explain कर रहे हैं because obviously we're trying to give you as much information. आपकी income हमें नहीं पता क्या if you meet the 18,600, but अगर आपकी near about होगी 18,600, they'll consider that. उनकी discretion होती है. Second of all, £10,000 is relatively significant figure, but they will take that into consideration. Like शायद ने जैसे अभी बताया था, it's not basically it's not a big amount, but still substantial amount है. But जो आपने about the husband के बारे में वो पूछ रही थी,
husband
which is separated, from the
that is a second question. A friend's daughter, who's been married and
she's got a child and got a passport.
She had a 2.5-year leave, and now obviously they're separating or already separated. They want to know where she stands legally. Well, I mean, if the marriage doesn't subsist anymore, and it is dissolved, then obviously her legal grounds for staying here are very sketchy, because she's not established life in UK. The 2.5 years is not really that long time. The only sort of redress to this issue is that if during that relationship she suffered from domestic violence, then that could be obviously a reason or grounds for applying for her to be allowed to stay here in UK. So that's something we need to.
I think the key thing will be agar ye separation is based on domestic violence, there is a possibility, and then again need to have a police record. Your police मतलब it has to be reported. You need simply that आज कोई बंदा कह दे that मैं separated हूँ, the domestic violence, it needs to be backed up by evidence. Again, it needs to have the social workers involved, बच्चे involved, and there'll be CAF officers involved with the social services. ये मतलब एक तो चीज़ें जिसके आप इस पे पूछें, और अगर आपके पास ये information correct है और आपके पास ये domestic violence का application हो सकती है, then call us and we'll be more than happy to guide you and we can help you in this application. Amreen, thank you for your call, and you can take our email address and हम आपको email आपका जवाब देंगे उस पे. अच्छा, we had Ali Saab who is self-employed, and again he's had numerous contact
well, he was
with
tracking
the Home
his
Office,
application, and then suddenly it just went off the radar, as it were. He was not able to track it anymore. So he has been sending emails, correspondence, not had any satisfactory response from the UKB or Home Office. So what we can do in this instance is that if he were to contact us, then we can actually write to the Home Office and ask for status update on his application.
Exactly. Ali साहब अगर प्रोग्राम वॉच करें तो इंशाल्लाह आपका ये आपकी कॉरेस्पॉन्डेंस चल रही थी, आपके ईमेल जो है ना आप प्लीज़ उनकी हमें साइट कर दें कि हमें अटैचमेंट्स भेजें, so we can guide you better, और पता चलेगा हो क्या रहा है. and inshallah ta'ala we'll be more than happy to help you. Thank you for your call. जो गनी साहब की जो आई थी, I think he said a tier 1 he
Gani
was.
साहब tier 1 पे आए. I think he's already got ILR and he was considering possibilities of sponsoring other family members over. So the criteria is the same, that if you are here settled person, by having ILR you are deemed to be that person, then anybody you want to sponsor over, then you'll have to meet the financial requirements and they'll have to meet the life in UK test, etc, etc. So that's the answer to that question.
Thank you for that. ये तो अपने गनी साहब का हो गया. और आप ये पूछ रहे थे अगर आप कांटेक्ट करना चाहें, अगेन ईमेल एड्रेस है, आप उस पर प्रोवाइड करें. आपको विद फुल इंफॉर्मेशन तो नहीं थी, पर जो भी थे हमने उस पर आपको जवाब दिया है. जो गिजाला बहन की जो कॉल आई थी, वीज़ा को उन्होंने नवंबर में अप्लाई करा, रिफ्यूज़ हो चुका था. आई थिंक वो शी से ना कुछ बैंक स्टेटमेंट्स उनके मिसिंग थे एंड दे रिफ्यूज़ ऑन दैट, एंड ऑल्सो दे वांट टू जेन्युइन केस नहीं समझ रहे थे. On this one, I think you need to provide us further details so we can advise you on that. Shahid Sahab, obviously statements, this is the whole purpose. आज का हमारा program का मतलब यही था. The purpose of us to talk about the requirements for spouse visa is exactly इन्हीं बातों के हम लोगों को information देना चाहते हैं. तो आपको क्या चीज़ें प्रोवाइड करना है और उसमें क्या जो होती हैं लीगली तौर पे वो क्या चीज़ें जो आपको उसमें शामिल करना है. और अगर उसमें एक भी चीज़ मिसिंग होगी और वो नहीं मीट करे तो आप उस क्राइटेरिया को फुलफिल नहीं करें, वो उसे रिजेक्ट कर देते हैं. एंड दैट इज़ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. इनके साथ गजाला के साथ obviously is a big issue at the moment.
I mean, if the application has been refused, then obviously they've written a letter of explanation. If she can redress those objections then and resubmit the application, then I'm sure it will be reviewed and reconsidered, and she'll.
But I think she needs to do, because of this situation, I think that Ghazala needs to contact competent solicitors जो immigration के काम करते हैं. आप हमसे भी contact कर लें, तो Ghazala will be more than happy to help you and advise you on your application on this one. And again, this is a very grey area.
It's a common scenario that we come across regularly. People actually just submit the application on their own. They don't seek proper legal advice, and then a majority of the times the application is turned down and refused, and hence this is the result.
Exactly. So Ghazal Ben, contact ले सकते हैं हमारे from control room. We'll be more than happy to help you. Obviously हमारे पास time's running out as usual. We come to almost to the end of the program. But inshallah, what we're going to be doing, obviously we are going to be, अगर कोई call आ रही, we can just take a quick call on if at all अगर आ रही है अभी. I just want to obviously हमें तो अपने views उनका शुक्रिया करना है. Obviously they've been having the patience. We run the program late, so again we apologize. उसके आपसे माफ़ी मांगते हैं. It's been delayed on the program, but inshallah it will be coming next week. से हमारा वही time होगा 3 बजे से. शाहिद साहब, obviously before we finish हमें views को ये बताना है that we can help him on the entrepreneurial visa. This is important. Now, next time के program में, let's just touch on it a little bit so that viewers को पता रहेगा. We can do deportation. We'll be talking about wills and probate का भी issues आप ज़रूर दें हमें. We can look into that. And also about जो भी मैंने कहा entrepreneurial
visa. Yeah, if you're already in the UK and you finish your degree from here and you want to basically continue staying here, then one way of staying in UK is to actually switch to tier 1 entrepreneur visa. And what is required is basically you've got 2 options. You could either open a new business, or you can buy a business. You could either buy a business on your own, or you can get one of your business partners to buy the business jointly. If you buy on your own, then you need to have 200,000 capital readily available to you to do that. Or alternatively, if you're buying as a partnership, then each partner needs to have at least 100,000 each.
मगर शायद साहब आपने ये भी बता देना ज़रूरी है. There is on the
a third category,
which is 50k, £50,000.
Yeah,
it needs to be from a venture capital.
Yeah, it's from a venture capital which is actually regulated and approved by Financial Conduct Authority.
So ये जो ज़रूरी ये बात है ना, आपको इससे पिक्चर में ला रहे हैं. तो अगर आप entrepreneurial करना चाहते हैं visa, then obviously this is one way we can help you and give you the best advice. और आपको 2 रूट हमने बता दिए, समझा दिए. अगर आप single करेंगे £200,000, अगर आप joint करेंगे then obviously you need to contribute £100,000. Alternatively, from student, you can switch, not a problem. Switching is allowed, and you can do the £50,000, and it has to come from a venture capital, and it has to be from a source which is regulated by the FCA. That's important. इस तरह नहीं है £50,000 किसी से borrow करके लिया है. It will not be accepted, because you need to have it from a reliable source. Shaheen Sahab, obviously we're going to talk about this in the next program. तो अपने views को हम ये कहते हैं, because now we've come to the end of the program, and obviously it's been a very short program in that sense, but inshallah next week will be running back on time, which will be the 3 o'clock time. And आपको ये पहले बता दिया, if you got an issue about immigration, litigation, your representation, we've touched on landlords and tenants issues. अगर आपके पास लैंडलॉर्ड टेनेंट्स इश्यूज़ हैं, आपके प्रॉपर्टी के कोई मसला या मसाइल है जहाँ पे आपको किराया नहीं मिल रहा है, आपका टेनेंट mess out कर रहा है, आप उससे अपनी प्रॉपर्टी possession लेना चाहते हैं, we can help you with that. We help in numerous ways about Section 8, Section 21. We'll discuss that again in the next program. और ये जो हमारे टॉपिक्स होंगे will be continued all the way through. But प्रोग्राम के अलावा हम आपको जो हमारे ईमेल्स हैं उस पर हमारे बहुत सारे क्वेश्चंस अगर हम जवाब देते हैं, तो आप हमें ऑफ एयर भी ले सकते, कांटेक्ट कर सकते हैं, and you can send us your emails. So next week हम आपसे इजाज़त लेते हैं शाहिद साहब. We want to thank the viewers for contacting us, and inshallah keep watching Legal Matters, कानूनी मशवरे. Inshallah we'll be back next week with a program of giving legal advice, immigration, litigation and representation. Thank you for watching Hidayat TV and Legal Matters.